Hey friends, welcome back to Nick T Live. I'm your host. Well, not host because it's just me, but I'm Nick. Here we are. What's going on? Just doing another co-working stream here. So I'm working on some open source stuff as always on OpenSauced. So I'm gonna be continuing some work that I've been doing on StarSearch. So we can just get right to it, I guess. Let's switch over to coding view. We'll zoom in a sec here, but boom, boom. Okay, let's start up my dev server. Let's hide that. And let's close others. Okay, so what are we kind of looking at here? So we got like this, for example. We can load up. Uh, I'm already logged in, but what this does is it's gonna show the dev server's just gotta load up still. But hey, Charles, how you doing, man? Good to see you. All right, cool. That's rolling. All right, don't need to worry about that. Cool. Um, yeah. So if we just zoom this in a bit, so this is StarSearch, which you've probably seen before if folks you got a bone to pick with me? Uh-oh, what did I do? All right, air out the dirty laundry. What have I done, sir? Um, so while Charles in the chat is just finding that bone he has to pick with me, I'll just continue what I was saying. Um, so we got Star Search. It's Copilot, but for Git history, and so we can run some of these canned or I should say suggested prompts. So like like what's Brandon Roberts, my coworker, working on, and this will go ahead and uh, you know go hit all things AI and our special sauce, and then it'll come back with some stuff that he's working on. And once that's done, you now have this option to well, you could share before, but it's a little different now. So now when you share, you got to create a share link. Still mulling this over with my product designer, but ChatGPT does this as well. So we want to create the share link, and then that's going to generate it, and then you can go ahead and share it. So like for example, if I say share to Twitter, and I already had this feature work done before, but it's just changed slightly. But essentially, it's just gonna say, "Here's my Star Search prompt. Try it out for yourself." Um, and Yeah, basically, it's got a short link. We use dub.co, and yeah, it'll when you go ahead to share that. Right now, it's generating I think a localhost link, so it's not showing the whatchamacallit, the I can't speak here. The OG image. Actually, no. It's generating a because I'm on my local, I think it's generating a beta link and my work isn't deployed to the beta site yet, so that's why it's not generating the OG image. But if you deploy it to prod once this is out, it'll be a prod link, and you get this nice little prompt that looks like this basically. If we go to GitHub. Okay, so we come here. You're gonna get something that looks like this. So what it does is StarSearch compiles like a summary of what the conversation was, and that's what'll get shared, and that's what will get inserted in the OG image. And then uh, if there's no conversation that was loaded, like there was no conversation that was shared, it just loads the default StarSearch OG image. Okay, so Charles is saying nothing so serious. I was curious about your interview with Dr. Claire from Notfly coming up. No shade or anything, but I'm curious about what you plan on for that one to look like, especially given the recent headcount reductions. I get companies got a company, just saw that, and then the interview schedule, so it's in my head. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna cover that. Maybe we will. I don't know. I'll ask her, I guess. But I guess everything isn't always sunshine and rainbows, but it's just gonna be, I think, general conversation about engineering leadership, and also we both like lifting weights, so that's why it's called leadership and lifting. So it's a lifting up people, but also like lifting heavy things. But it's a great question. I honestly don't know, Charles. I I could probably ask her and see what she wants to say on it. I'm honestly not sure. So we'll see, I guess, is what I'm saying. Um, but yeah, no, it's a great question. I even though it said just booked like the other day, I'd already talked to her a while ago, so this was kind of already in the works prior to that. So, but yeah, who knows? Yeah, it's yeah, still rough. Um, Layoffs are never fun. I survived 2 rounds of layoffs, so it's been yeah, not the greatest thing, but anyways. No, it's not. One, I've never heard Johnny on the spot, but no, don't worry about it, man. It's a, I have a feeling like when we do that interview, if we don't bring it up, I feel like somebody might bring it up. So but I don't have an answer yet. But all I'd say is I guess it's difficult when you gotta let people go. I've never had to be in upper management, letting people go. But yeah, it's definitely a great question. And no, don't shy away. I mean, I appreciate the conversation and chat always. Um, but yeah, tough times. Yeah, so like I was saying, basically we've we've got that working. What I'm going to look at now is if I just come back to, sorry, just checking something on the interwebs. Yeah, so that all works, but we currently have one in production. So like if we go to app.opensauce.pizza, and this was kind of like a first pass at this. We wanted to get something out there, but if we come to StarSearch and I'll just run one like sure, find contributors based on their work, and we'll let that roll. Um, but anyways, like I was saying, Charles, it's good to ask these questions. Life isn't perfect. It's not always a well scripted script, so it's all good. Okay, so here currently, this is in production right now because what I was showing you before isn't in production yet. So you can still share in production, but what happens is when you say like I want to go share, or like I want to copy the link, I just want to show you the difference. When I go to paste it in, it's still running a conversation, but it's not a saved conversation. It's just running like if I have a prompt in the query string here, which it's kind of hard to show, but let me put it in VS Code here. It looks like this basically. So basically, the old way was just passing in a prompt. The new way is an ID, which is a saved conversation, and this is tying into some work related to people wanting to be able to look at their past questions or conversations with StarSearch. So this is kind of like some groundwork for that, and I'm going to be working on the history as well. Um, but basically, just we don't have a ton of people who have used the current way a lot yet. Like we have people who have shared stuff, but we're not talking like I don't think thousands of people yet or anything. So I'm just gonna put some logic in to handle this still. So let's put this. I'm just gonna copy that, put that over here. I'm gonna come back here. Basically, I'm going to implement what was there before, but just as an option. Like we still want the new way, but if people happen to come from the old way, so if I run this, it's just gonna load StarSearch. Okay, that hydration error is related to the small screen, so that's not the actual thing. Like which I do need to sort out, but if I reload this, okay. So it's got the prompt in the query string, but nothing's loading here. So just gonna go ahead and handle that. So here's our component. I have this, let me go to the top here. I created this StarSearch chat, which is basically the conversation you see with the bubbles and stuff. So what I want to do is I'm handling the new way, which looks for the ID, which actually should be share ID now. Hey, SD, how you doing? Good to see you. I'm streaming, not streaming late, but usually I'm streaming work stuff in the mornings. But I had a doctor's appointment this morning, and that's why I didn't have a stream with a guest today. And so I'm just doing a bit of work in the afternoon. I won't lie, I'm a little tired, but I still wanted to do a bit of streaming. It was Father's Day this weekend, which was good, but just a little tired. I don't know if it's a lobster coma. I ate a lot of lobster yesterday. It's a kind of a, it's not a Canadian tradition. It's just a family tradition we do on Father's Day. Okay, what was I looking at? Okay, so we have the StarSearch chat component, and it takes a shared chat ID. And oh yeah, I remember where that's coming from. So if we look for StarSearch index, so this is the main page where I pulled out the all that logic, and the reason, yeah, the lobster's good. I like lobster. You can usually get it at a good price around this time of year in Canada on the East Coast. It's Atlantic lobster, so it's hard shelled, not like Maine lobster, which is technically coming out of the Atlantic too, but it's closer, it's more south down the East Coast, and they're soft shelled, so you can literally, like, there's a place I've gone camping in Maine before where you can buy lobsters and they sell them in paper bags and cooked, obviously. And then, like, if you're camping, and you can just literally like peel the shell off. It's not like peeling off paper or anything, but it's way easier. Like, whereas like a hard shelled one, you can actually cut yourself on the shell if you're trying to break it apart. So a little different, but they both taste good. Um, but I definitely don't think I could eat lobster all the time. It is good, but I think that'd be a little too much crustacean. All right, so I'm just changing this to share ID in the query string. That's one thing. This is a change I was speaking with my coworker John before, because if we keep it at just ID for sharing conversations, um, it'll work. But I'm gonna be implementing the StarSearch history where you can load your past conversations, and I want that to be actually ID in the query string and really make it distinct from when you share one. So I'm just gonna make that small change, even though that's not pushed in the API yet to our beta environment. It doesn't matter. I can test without that. All right, so GA, that's just my git alias for git add everything. Let's do G's for git for me. That's not a git alias. That's just my terminal alias or shell alias. So git chore, and then I have things like git chore, git feat, FEAT, or git fix or git test, and these are all related to conventional commits. I just make it easier so I don't have to actually write this like every time chore blah blah blah. Okay, so this is changed ID query string key to share ID. That should be all that's in there. Yep, that's it. Share underscore ID. Cool. There we go. Let's just push that up. Yeah, the shells can be tough, but the lobster, at least this time of year, is pretty good. There's even like there's a lobster festival in the Maritimes of Canada. I'm sure there's more than one, but the one I know of, it's in Shediac in New Brunswick. It's in July, I think. So pretty big festival. All right. So did I push that? Sure. Okay. That's a small change just to load basically, and I'm going to change my test URLs to be share underscore ID. Let's just so I don't end up fumbling later on and go like, why is it not working? Okay, there. Let's see here. Do I have any other ones? Yeah, here too. Share ID. Okay. And we want to test this one here. So we want this localhost address. Boom. There. StarSearch. Cool. Hey, how's it going, Bjorn? Good to see you, man. Cool, cool. We got our little crew here hanging out. That's cool. Always appreciated. All right, let's see what's going on here now. Boom, boom. All right, somebody's liking that on the socials. Oh, cool. All right. So we did that small fix to the query string. So now I wanted to get it working again with the prompt. And so basically all we need to do here is, so this is in my chat component. So if it gets a prompt, let's see here, we can pass that in, I guess. This will be for legacy, but prompt, this is a string or null. Oh, well, thanks. Glad you enjoy watching the stream. Honestly, if you want to stream, Bjorn, like when I first started, literally just my monitor. I had my webcam on my laptop, so you always saw my side profile kind of like this. And I didn't have a microphone like I do now. Um, I don't know if that's showing. Probably will. And basically, I didn't have any, not that it's super fancy, but I have like the chat at the bottom, and I say what I'm working on here and stuff. I didn't have any of that. It was literally just share my screen, my webcam at some point, and sometimes when I was sharing screen, I didn't even have my face on there. It's like I I've definitely automated a lot of stuff, but like don't let any of that stuff intimidate you. You should just, if you really want to do it, just start doing it. I literally had 0 people watching me, and it's not like I have a million people following me right now, anyways. But that's not, although that'd be nice to have, it's not why I do it. Um, but oh, okay. Okay, yeah, I didn't realize you've been streaming for years. Sorry, because I misunderstood from your previous comment. You said just wanted to start streaming myself, actually. Okay, I misunderstood that. Okay, so you do stream already. It's not like you want to get into it. Haha, gotcha. I'm gonna turn my fan on here. It's getting hot in Montreal today. I blew up the little inflatable pool, so anybody can just go lie in it and cool off. Okay, so let's see here. Yeah, so I'm gonna take the prompt there and okay, yeah, yeah. Knowing what to stream is, it you kind of want to have a bit of a plan. I mean, I never have like a, like with my guests, I have like, I know who I'm obviously going to interview and what we're going to talk about, but I never have set questions, or if I do, they're very few. I almost never have a set question. I just like it to be more organic. Like I tell the guest every time before I start a stream, it's worked so far, but maybe one day it'll blow up in my face. But that's essentially uh, what I've been doing. And then like when I do my own stuff, it's just, hey, how's it going, Violated Sign? Well, you're not technically late. I'm usually streaming in the morning for work related stuff or just non guest stuff. But I had a doctor's appointment earlier today, so I didn't have a guest today, and just streaming some work now. But yeah, when I stream my own stuff, it's just like I just stream what I'm actually working on at work, because it's kind of killing. I don't know if people say kill 2 birds with 1 stone still, but I don't know what another expression is. But you know, got to get the work done anyway, so might as well stream it. It's open source, so basically, yeah, I want to support this, getting this prompt here. So if we come back to the star search, we've got that, and Cool, cool. Let me just check one other thing here. Okay, cool, cool. All right. Cool. Yeah, so we have this context query ID. This shit. Oh, whoops. Speaking of which, I did my thing wrong. G reset soft head. And let's fix this right, but I want this to be that. Shared ID context dot query share ID, share ID, share ID, share chat ID. Okay, that's good. I just missed part of it when I did that small refactor. Okay, gchore change ID query string to share underscore ID. And I also have a test I'm going to need to update. So hold on a sec. E2E, StarSearch. Okay, and then let's go ID equals. Okay, we got two of those. So let's do one, two. Hold on a sec. Let's do this. And it's going to be question mark share underscore ID equals. All right, and let's go share ID there. Okay, that's good. Let's just make sure that those end-to-end tests pass. I hate when they refer to workload as bandwidth, though. Reducing bandwidth by consolidating tasks, probably the modern two birds with one stone. Okay, I missed that part, sorry. Okay, cool. We have the dev server running. I'm just gonna start my end-to-end test. Just run it locally. Just do a quick sanity check. All right. So we're using Playwright. So it's gonna fire up Playwright. I won't be able to really zoom it in. It's web based, so actually I should be able to. Yeah, I can kind of zoom it in. Okay. So basically, I just want to test the StarSearch flows. What I've done is I've changed ID equals in the query string to share underscore ID, and that's gonna go. Okay, they're all passing. That's good. Cool. All right, good enough for me. Ship it. All right. So chore change ID query string key to share ID. That's good. I look like I have too many things in here though. Let's see here. Okay. Index. That's good. That I want in the spec and the chat. That I don't need. Okay, cool. And is that passing in the shared chat ID down below? It should be. If I look at this, star search page, star search. Yeah, okay, that's all good. Okay, let's push that. Git push. Speaking like French from France today for some reason. Say ou le Wi-Fi. That's what they call. I think you said they call Wi-Fi Wi-Fi in Germany as well, Bjorn. It's like I say Wi-Fi, but if you speak to at least French from France people in Montreal, they'll say Wi-Fi. Okay. Okay, that's pushed up. End-to-end tests were updated, so that's good. So we're Gucci there. Okay, so let's get back to what I was doing. So we want to accept a prompt here. We got too much stuff going on here. Boom. Okay, so we need to accept a prompt, and if there is a prompt, yeah, they do call it Wi-Fi, eh? Yeah. Yeah, I guess I could picture that in a German accent. Like, where is the Wi-Fi? Uh, kind of like the French. And to be clear, I'm not making fun of Germans there. But yeah, in French from France, oui, c'est où le Wi-Fi? It sounds very elegant, but it makes me giggle. Okay, so we're gonna get that prompt coming in potentially, and that is there. We need to add a prompt here. or let's call it shared prompt. And we need to add that to, or update it in the props. Cool. And if shared prompt, we will go ahead and let's see here. Let's see here. SD saying, I have never streamed live. Not sure if I could do it like Code Live interact with people. Uh, you say that, SD, but you get used to it. You just like, I mean, I won't lie, I am extroverted, but like it took a bit of practice to be checking out chat, uh, actually coding, and then like doing other stuff. It is multitasking. All right. Looks like we got some spam here. I don't need cheap viewers, so let's see here. How do I moderate that? Hold on a sec. Could have sworn I had auto mod on. Shield mode is on. Click to manage shield mode. Why can't I change this in the UI? Not that they're doing anything malicious. I just don't really need spam in here. Show mod icons. Sure. Um, let's see if that fixed it. Okay, there we go. Boom. Delete message. All right. We do not need cheap viewers, is what I'm getting at. Okay. Yeah, but it's okay to get distracted too. I mean, it's part of it is interacting with chat, right? And we go on tangents like we're talking about Wi-Fi right now, which has nothing to do with my actual work, but here we are. Um, cool. I just got to check something in my work Slack. Okay. Uh, okay. Cool. Nothing big going on. Just checking a couple things here. It is work, so gotta check work. Okay, let's get back to it. So we've got this shared prompt that's coming in, and basically what I want to do is, and this is how I had it before, is basically populate the ask a question down here with the prompt if it exists. So the easiest way to do that is we have, where's that? Let's look for the form. So there's this input here, and yeah, input ref. Okay, boom. All right, add prompt input, prompt string. Okay, yeah, so that's what I want to do. Oh yeah, no worries. When good to see you, my man. Hope you're doing well. Sucking in all that regular expression knowledge. So have fun. But yeah, no, thanks for saying hey. Okay, so I need to call the add prompt. And actually, let me go see what I did in my old pull request. Let's go to GitHub. Pull request. Boom, boom. Merged. Yeah, I was telling when I forget he was asking about regexes and there's this one regular expressions book. Where is it? This one. Yeah. This is the one I ended up reading, which was pretty solid by Jeffrey Friedel. There's a newer edition. I think I have the third edition. Here it is. This is um, this is not a referral link or anything, but this is the one I bought years ago. I found it super helpful, and there's also great test ground. I used to when I was working in .NET, I had this regular expression tool for local development, but I'm not doing any .NET now, and I think it's out of date. But regex 101 is a great place to just kind of test out your stuff with some test data. I find it super helpful. But that's what I do. Okay, so let's go to share, share, implemented StarSearch, share prompt. So this is from the initial one. And I think I just had a use effect with the input ref. Let's see here. Let's index.tsx. That's tests. Where's... Oh yeah, here it is. You're shocked at how many people do not use regex for string pattern recognition, but that might be just within the enterprise I'm at. I used to use regular expressions a lot, and I still use them a lot. They're definitely good for certain things, like you said, like string pattern recognition. It's definitely not something good to use if you're trying to like parse HTML and stuff and pull out stuff. Um, HTML can be very forgiving, so like if you're in like Node.js land or JavaScript land, stuff like Cheerio, this library here, Cheerio npm or similar is probably the way to go. You can definitely you can definitely use it violated sign for parsing HTML. I've definitely done it, uh, but in some cases it could kind of bite you in the ass. Is this the right one? Yeah, this is it. Cheerio. This is actually built into some libraries. Like I can't remember if whatchamacallit. I think one of the testing libraries might use this. Not positive. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, there's that too. Yeah, yeah. Email is like there's usually you got to find a solid one because like emails. I remember when I was doing .NET, they had like a standard email one, and I think even that one isn't good enough. Like, not to knock on .NET, it's just I think people didn't realize how many scenarios you can have with the email. Like, obviously, you need the @ symbol, the domain, and stuff. But I think it was like other allowed characters and subdomains, and I can't remember what it was. But yeah, yeah, I wouldn't craft those on my own. I would probably just grab an existing one. You're using it finding tables. Were you doing web scraping or something? I feel like that's what you were probably doing if you're trying to find tables in HTML. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah, no, I've done web scraping, and my friend used to do a ton of it. The interesting thing with web scraping is like if you're scraping on the web, you're gonna get you're gonna get rate limited or blocked at some point. Not that you're calling it API, so not rate limited, but like uh, hitting a certain page a ton of times, scraping stuff. You have to like swap different servers and IPs and stuff. It's like there's a whole like there is a Python library. I forget what it's called that does this. It's like it's not scrapey. I forget what it is, but all right. So let's look for input ref. Uh, look at my prior art. So this is why it's good to, all right, so form, is this, okay, no, not the submit. Yeah, so yeah, this is what I had. I basically had use effect shared prompt. Yeah, okay, I just basically need this again. Let's move that over and let's go to up top to the use effects. Set the first one, two, okay, one, boom, okay. So there, that one prevents thread history from running. Yeah, that's expected. So let's put this other one in. So basically, we've got the shared prompt coming in that might exist. We got the input ref.current. So basically, once the ref sets the current, because the first time it renders, it input ref.current is null, and then it does a second pass, and then it gets a reference to the DOM element, which is this one over here where I'm typing in. And then there's the check auth, which do we still have that in here? Oh, I do. Okay, yeah. So shared prompt or ran once. We don't need to do it. If there's no shared prompt and it already ran once, we don't need to do anything. That's same thing as up here. All right, and then as long as we have the input ref and we don't need to check off if it's a guest, and then we add the prompt, and the prompt input should fill this automatically. And we're saying don't show suggestions, which is what I was doing in the other one too, I believe. Set stream. Okay, no, that'll all get handled by itself. Okay, so let's try and run this. So I've got a prompt in the query string here. So now if I press enter, it should automatically fill. And it doesn't. Okay. Wah, wah, wah. Okay, what am I not doing right here? We've got prompt up there. Let's just double check everything here. So, oh, I'm not passing the prop down. That's why I didn't I didn't get it. So that'll do it. Okay, so if context query.share ID. The only thing I'm wondering is yeah, I guess it's okay to do it on the server side. Okay. And there, not use effect. That's not what I meant to do. Just thinking this through here. Yeah, okay, we can do that. So let's do the same thing. This one's just going to be called prompt. And here, that's prompt. This, we just need to make sure it's a string. And if it isn't, you know, this one, well, I'll sort that in a second, but this is a prompt. And this is shared prompt. Cool. Laughs in Selenium. Ha ha ha. Cool. All right. Yeah, that's shared prompt. I gotta go up top here. So let's do let shared prompt string or null. It can't be undefined because when it comes across the wire, the gets the server side props that are coming, we're using Next.js's pages router. If you set it to undefined, you're gonna get an error because JSON can't parse undefined, it can only parse null. So that's why we need that. So shared prompt, I'm just gonna say it's this. All right. And I'm not gonna validate it here because like it's whatever it is, and then we'll check that it's a string on the client side. I don't need to do all that logic here. For the other one, it makes sense because this is the new way, and we want to throw it if it doesn't if it's not parsed as a UUID. Okay, prompt string, and the thing too here is that one up there has to be a UUID. This one is just free text, so let's put this here. That's good. Let's move this down. Cool. And shared prompt. It's already complaining that doesn't have it, so let's do that. There we go. Let's go to here. Now the shared prompt, yeah, string or null. Now, if we do not have a shared prompt or it ran once, we return. That's what was happening before. Otherwise, if our ref is set, meaning we have a input, we have a reference to the ask a question input, text input down below, and we don't need to check off, then we just add the input and we set show suggestions false, I guess. That's from before. All right, let's refresh this and try. I'm assuming it's going to fill it out. Won't, won't, won't. Okay, so let's debug a bit here. It's prompt. Okay. Just making sure we're getting a shared prompt. Oh, what's going on here? Type string or string. Okay, yeah, sure. This is supposed to be a string. I don't like it casting here, but this seems to be what you need to do in the case of. You could check like, is this prompt a string or an array? But we know it's going to be an array, so it's kind of like just the extra guarding seems kind of pointless, I think. But anyways, okay, so the shared prompt is there. So context.query.prompt. It's prompt up there. That's good. Shared prompt context.query.prompt. Let's see. And then we get OG image. Oh, that's why. I'm not actually passing it in the props. Okay, there. All right. We should have some show time now here. There we go. So let me try that. Let me do that again. So, okay, it is running. And that's all good. And now if I go to share it, create a share link, let's see what it gave me. Gonna go here and paste it in. So this is a dub.co short link, and gonna run that. What's going on here? Just one sec. What's going on LinkedIn here? Ba-da-ba-ba. All right. Why do people do that? All right, cool. Let's come back to where I was. All right, cool. So that's working again, like I said, as expected. Okay, so it generated this URL. You can't see it in the URL bar, so let me just show it in the my little uh, scratch pad here. So it created this link, and this is correct. It's not share underscore ID like I have when I load right now because John hasn't updated the API yet, but that's coming. So this all works as expected. So I think that's good enough. Now, the things I need to test are if I come back here. Whoops, not that. Whoops. There, L localhost 3000. Um, the UUID is guessable, I guess, but it's it's not. It's also if if the thread that you want to look at, like the shared thread, if it's not public, even if you have that UUID, you're not gonna be able to load it. So there's that. But I mean, I guess a UID could potentially be guessable. That's a you could try a ton of them. But yeah, like I said, if the link isn't public, unless you're the person that actually shared it or it's your thread, like your one of your conversations, you're not gonna be able to see it. Yes, it is a very long screen. LL cool, Chris. Um, cool. Yeah, it's a widescreen, but hopefully, I've got it zoomed in. Let me know if you're having trouble reading it there, LL Cool Chris. Aside from it being long, like just let me know if like it's zoomed in enough. If it isn't, I can pop it in. Well, right. It. I mean, it depends what you ask, I guess. But like, basically, the conversations are private by default, just like in ChatGPT. And then if you want to make it, all right, cool. Thanks, Chris. Just for letting me know. Yeah, it's one thing I'm pretty conscious about. Anytime I stream, I just go ahead and zoom in stuff right away. But anybody in the chat, if ever something's like not zoomed in enough, let me know. Um, but yeah, all the chats are private. It's only once you go to say like if I come here, let me load up an existing one, or actually I'll run one again. It's only once you say like I want to generate the share link. Prior to that, it's private. So as soon as you say generate the share link, it hits an endpoint that actually makes the conversation publicly viewable. So to Bjorn's point, like even if you're guessing them, it doesn't matter because unless it's public or you're the owner of the thread, you're not gonna be able to see it. And that's what this create share link is. Yeah, and so like uh, basically, I just wanted to test this still. So it's working with the prompt. Um, when I like, let's go clear history just to show it again. So I'm gonna paste it in. This is the way it currently works, and I need to support it. So if I click enter, we've got the prompt, so the initial question that you want to ask StarSearch, and it's gonna auto populate it. It went really fast there, but it asks the question, and then it's gonna just return an answer. And that's done. Okay, that works. That's fine. And if I, you know, run it again, that's not an issue. Now I just want to test it if I'm logged out. So let's clear history here. Let's load it up. This should work as well. Okay, so it doesn't. And that's because we've changed the logic a bit, but basically that's expected right now, at least the way it's working. So basically, if you try to do any of these to run them, you're not going to be able to. And or if you want to ask a question, you're not going to be able to. But I just need to check the rule about. I'm wondering what's best here. Because you'll probably be logged in. I got to see how much effort it is to allow it. It should work for a logged out person. So if we look at the logic here, basically like I said before, if it's not a shared prompt, so there's nothing in the query string that in the prompt key. Um, yeah, the thing was initially with this initial share, and this works with the logged out experience too for one of these. Like if we go to this one here, even if you're logged out, it'll allow you to run to view a shared conversation that's public. Um, only the first time. If I tried to do something after, then it asked me to log in. And the reason for this is we want to allow people to see, like, oh, here's a conversation. This is what you could be doing. And then, then they're like, okay, well, I want to go ask my own question now. And then you're not logged in. So then it's asking you to log in. So we thought that was a good trade off where you can get a taste of, like, this is how StarSearch works. But if you want to start asking your own questions, you do need to create an account or log in. I'm just wondering why it's not working for the old way, which I just added in. So I have a feeling that's related to the logic. Let's hide this one. How do I hide the pinned one? All right, cool. Yeah, exactly. A sneak peek because we do want people to log in, but like it's also kind of nice to say like, oh, here you go. Like you can check it out, but if you want to keep using this or trying it out, we do encourage you to create a an account. Okay. So I'm just trying to see why this logic isn't working. So if the input ref and not check off, okay, that all runs. What happened was when it goes add prompt input, and I think it's because I changed how this works. So all right, so that's not the issue. That's not the issue. Okay, it's on the form submit. So um, let's look for the form submit prompt. Okay. Oh, okay. This is what I got to change. So this or shared prompt because that's what I had before. So we want to if we if check off and shared chat ID or shared prompt and not bear token set login modal open. I think that's it. Let's try that again. So let's run this. Okay, that's not it. Wait, that doesn't actually make sense. Let me undo that. So when we go to submit it, the check off, this is a use state, um, sorry, component state using in the use state hook. The reason why we have this is just this allows you to run it once if you're a guest, and if you try to run it again, basically you're asked to log in. So the first time, if check auth and share chat ID and not bearer token, that makes sense. Or not bearer token and not chat ID. Okay, let's go look at that logic. Let's run this. Let's open up the dev tools. I'll zoom these in here just because this is hard to see here. Okay, and we're gonna look for what was it? Submit prompt. Okay, there. All right, cool. That's what we want because we should be able to get there. So let's go ahead and run this. So I'm gonna press enter. It should hit my breakpoint. Okay, so we passed in the string, and you can see here the string. I can't zoom that in, but if I hover over it, it says show me the lottery factor for contributors in the Remix Run React Prouder project. So check auth is false, and shared chat ID is null and not bearer token. So false. Okay, I think I know what I need to do. I basically, um, let's just do this to just get it to pass. We're going to come into the console, and I'm going to say shared chat ID equals shared prompt, which is not what we want to do, but I just want to get it running. So if I run this now, it should pass to here. That's good. And there we go. And then it runs. Okay. It's not running the second time because I updated it in the console. The reason why we're getting the login now is because we're in React strict mode because we're in development mode, so it re-renders twice. So I know what I need to change. So let me just come back and we'll see it in action here. Let's bring this back over here. So we want this shared chat ID or shared prompt. That's good. And then we want to say and not shared chat ID and not shared prompt. That should do it. All right, so let's clear history here. I'm going to grab the URL. Let's do a fresh run here. Okay, it's going to run. Okay, the hydration error is something else, but it actually ran. Okay, so it started to run and then it gave an error. So let's see here. It's going to come down here. We're not going to have a chat ID. Okay, so all right, let's debug again here, but we got further. So let's come here and we should be good here. All right, let's run that again. Okay, did we get that far? How did we get that far? Hold on a sec. So ID is undefined. That's good. So it came in here. And then if not ID, we create it. Okay, yeah, why is it not hitting that? Okay, otherwise const payload set chat ID. I'm just putting a couple breakpoints in here to see because I'm curious how it got all the way down there. All right, so let's run this again. Okay, so thread response dot status is giving me a 401. Okay, I remember why. Okay, okay. Yeah, this makes sense. Okay, I'm getting a 401 because I'm not logged in, and to actually view a conversation, even though I'm like, if I'm trying to look at an existing conversation, I do have to be logged in. All right, sorry, I don't have to be logged in, but I'm using the old way, which is just literally passing in a prompt. Oh, thanks. This is the old school Netlify shirt. I have the newer one too. This is like the old logo or one of the old logos. I got a couple others. Yeah, see, like this is the. Actually, let me switch. The chat I'm in is actually showing me back in time, so let me go to the screen where I can actually see things. Yeah, so this is the old logo, and let me find the new one. I don't have the new one, but here's a OpenSauced Pizza Hut. Um, let's see. I don't know. I have it somewhere, but anyways, I digress. Okay, I remember why this was an issue, and it's okay. This is just this actually is expected, and cool. All right, let me come back here. Got lost in Slack and chat and everything. All right, cool, cool, cool. Okay. Yeah, so the reason why this isn't working is so with the new way where we want to share an existing thread, if somebody has shared one with the new way, which is what I'm currently implementing, that works because it already exists in the database, so I don't have to say go create a conversation. If I'm logged out, or sorry, if I'm logged in and I'm using this old way where which I want to support, which is they just pass a prompt in the query string, which is literally just text. That'll work if you're logged in, because what happens is it gets to this point where it goes, okay, I don't have an ID. I need to create a new StarSearch thread so I can get an ID, but I have to be logged in to do that. So when I'm logged in using this old way with just the prompt text works because it creates the thread and then I'm able to run it. So basically, if you're not logged in, I just have to say, sorry, you need to log in. That's basically it. So yeah, and that's what that's what I was actually talking about in Slack about, not a ton of people are using the current way because we're gonna roll this new way out soon. So I think just having it for logged in people will work, and for non-logged in people, we just ask them to log in. I think that's okay. All right. Okay. I just had to replay all that in my head to understand myself why that wasn't working. So, all right. Cool, cool. So let's look at what have I changed here? What have I done? Okay. So this is, whoops. Okay, that one's okay. This is just the page where I'm passing in the shared prompt. That's good. Okay. Let's close that. And then let's look at the changes I made in the StarSearch chat. So let's go to the top here. Just see again. Yeah, so I'm passing in this other prompt. It's not optional, but it'll be, well, it's optional in the sense that it can be string or null. And then I'm adding that shared prompt in there. That's good. And okay, this is all good. The only difference here is I don't need to check the auth. All I need to say is if you're not logged in, yeah, how should that work? I think I can just leave it the way it is actually. So if not shared prompt or ran once, return. Otherwise, input ref current, add prompt. Okay, yeah, so I'm gonna get rid of this because it really doesn't matter because this is only gonna work if I'm logged in. And then if I go to this, I don't need. Um, Yeah. Okay. And then when I go to add prompt input, that's gonna run and it's gonna go and dispatch it, and then basically I can undo this part too. So this should just be shared chat ID, not this, and I don't need this shared prompt. Okay, so basically, yeah, let's just put all that up and see what the differences are now. So for the component here, yeah, so the extra prop that's coming in, and then basically the use effect that says if there's a shared prompt and the input is set, then I'm gonna go ahead and run it and add the prompt. Okay, cool. That should be good. All right, and let's just see here. Set show suggestions. Just want to see if that's used anywhere else. Set show suggestions false. I'm gonna take that off for a sec just to see, or let's just comment it out. Let's go back to this view. I don't think I need this actually. So let's go ahead and see. Okay. Okay. Let's do the logged out experience. So I'm expecting it to, when I load this, it's going to say I need to log in. Okay. 100% expected. Um, okay. It gave the form input focus. So you know what? I think let's just do this. If or ran once. All right, so if there's a shared, yeah, or not bearer token. The not bearer token is going to mean you need to log in, I think. Or actually, let's do this. Return. Let's do this. If not bearer token, set login modal open true. Okay. Otherwise, and then return. Otherwise, it's business as usual because you're logged in. If there's no shared prompt or if it's ran once, we don't need to rerun the shared prompt because this is only when they go to the page first time. And then also, if the input ref.current is set, we're good. And yeah, okay, that should all work now. So, okay, so let's start from the top here. Okay, I'm going to load it. This is the logged out experience. I have a prompt in the query string, the text one, not like a thread ID. So this should just automatically say I need to log in. Okay, that's expected. And then I'm like, no, I'm not going to log in. Let's click on it. I try again. I have to log in if I click there. I have to log in if I click there. That's good. Okay, let's connect with GitHub. All right. Okay, that is it's running, but because I was logged out before, I'll have to. Oh yeah, I'll have to change that too. Okay, let's do this. I'll make it easier so that doesn't actually. Let's do this. Um, let's just say this: if not bearer token there. This way. Um, okay. Okay, let's try that and wait. Um, let me refresh. Okay, we got to disconnect first. Okay, let's load it. Set login modal true. Okay, I have to log in, but did run the thing. Okay, yeah, I know what I need to do. Okay. This is right, but the UX of it is terrible. So let's leave that to true. So let's just say if bearer token, then set login modal open false. This is a little more verbose. But the thing is, in the case of when there is a bearer token, I don't want to return from here. Uh, what's it not liking? If shared prompt, what have I done? Let's see here. What is this syntax error? It doesn't like. Let me just cut this out and it's gonna look, yeah, now it's gonna say it's fine. Okay, if bearer token, boom, boom. Oh yeah, sorry, that would help. There, so yeah, okay. So this is more verbose. I don't typically like to say like true or false explicitly. Yeah, thanks, SC. Sorry. Um, that's also the nice thing about having people in the chat. You're like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you. I've been staring at the screen and I don't know why I didn't set that. Cool. Let's just hold on a sec here. Okay, so that's good. Okay, so let's come back here and let's test the flows properly. See, right now the UX here is terrible because it did, in the logged out experience, it did give the logout screen, login screen, sorry, but it actually gave focus to the form down below, and then we got the form validation happening. And although this still prevents them from using it without logging in, seeing that little please fill out field doesn't look good. So I'm gonna run this now. If I'm not logged in, I get the prompt. It's not trying to focus on the input down below. I come back here, click any of these. It's gonna ask you to log in. I come back here, boom. So now I'm connecting with GitHub and okay, it redirected me. That's not what I wanted to test. Okay, now it's running. Okay. Yeah, just display none. Yeah. Yeah, just hide everything, SD. Okay, here, let me disconnect and let's try it again. So, okay, logged out experience. Perfect. Okay. Now I'm going to say connect with GitHub. Now it's going to run again, but this time it's going to say, oh, you have a bearer token. I'm going to go ahead and run. There was no show the login, so I think that's good. Again, I don't like to explicitly say like false or true normally. Like normally I would just say like, not bearer token. The only reason why I'm doing this is because in the case there is a bearer token, I want the rest of this to run. So I don't want to uh basically. Oh, you know what? I could do, trying to think here. No, I think I'll keep this. And yeah, if there's no shared prompt or ran once, wonder if probably makes sense to do this first. No point in changing any state, even if it's the same state. Yeah, okay. I'm happy with that. So let's uh, add all that. Okay. So just to recap, we've got the additional prop in there. And then we have the use effect. So if you do not have a shared prompt, or if the page is already ran once, we return because we don't want to rerun the shared prompt again. If we do have a bearer token, we don't want to show a login modal. Otherwise, we do and we return. And then I guess, yeah, I could do this. That could be moved up, I guess. If that, otherwise, yeah. No, the thing is, I still need to do bearer token check anyway, so. Oh, glad you enjoy using it. So, uh, I think you'll like what's coming next. I'm going to be working on StarSearch within the context of a workspace. That's one thing. And then also, you're going to start being able to see a thread history. So, like, that's what this work is. It's a precursor to that. Okay, so we definitely don't need that, I guess. The show suggestions false. I just want to make sure about that, though. This will only be for the logged in experience, so let's refresh and see. Okay, it flashed it. Okay, so I gotta hide that flash. So that's one other thing. So I don't know if you noticed that you're gonna have to look quickly because it on the stream it might blink quickly, but you're gonna see the header for StarSearch, like this header, when I load the page, and it's only gonna flash for a second and then it's gonna start loading. So I already handled this with the new way, like when we load a thread ID, but for this old way, I need to hide it as well. So you can see flash and then it starts doing it. So these are just like little UX things, but they're important. Sometimes people are like, just it's like it's okay, but it's these little things that add up that make the experience potentially terrible. Um, okay, so let's look for header in this. Okay, so if not shared chat ID or not shared prompt, we want to show it. Okay, that should fix it. Like, don't get me wrong, functionally it'll still work, but it's kind of like if you've ever been to a site and you're like, something's off, but I don't know what it is. It can be little things like that. Okay, so let's try that again. Okay, why is it flashing? If not shared chat ID. Oh, wait, yeah. Shared chat ID or, yeah, I think this is what we got to do. Wait a minute. This is like a logic thing. So if there's no shared chat ID, that's true. That's why it's rendering, even though I don't have a shared prompt. So we want to say if shared chat ID or shared prompt, that's going to evaluate to true. And then we want to say not. So there. Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're just like something is off, and you might not be able to notice it sometimes, but there's definitely something, and it could be a design thing, could just be part of the way the experience works. So, all right, let me reload this, and there, we don't get the flash now. It's just loading this, and okay, that's expected. Okay, cool. So I think we're good. The only thing I'll need to add an end-to-end test to check that. So let's see here. Yeah, I'll have to add the old flow. Okay, let's do this. Git add chore. Now the old way of using a prompt in the query string works again. Cool. We'll push that off. Not off, up. All right, clear. And let's push that up. Did I push it already? Why didn't it like it? Oh, it's because I reset something. So here, let's just do a git pull. Just gonna see. All right, just rebasing. All right, git push force. All right, the force is strong. Okay, so that's all good. So basically, in this particular end-to-end test, this is for the logged out experience I'm testing. I'm not set up to do end-to-end tests with logged in experience yet. That's something I got to work on. But so we just need to add a test, which is if they happen to go to a URL that has like a prompt equals something, we should see the login screen. It shouldn't start running the conversation. So we're gonna go ahead and write that test, and let's see here, close others. Okay, that's still running, and let's run nr e2e ui. Nr is just my uh, shell alias for npm run, and then the script is e2e colon ui, that'll start up not Cypress, Playwright. Cool, let's close that and move that over. Just gonna check other chat here. Boom, boom. Cool. All right. Just checking something else. Okay, that's good. Bum bum. All right, there. Okay, cool. All right, that got pushed up. Good. Okay, so we're gonna write a test here. So I don't know if anybody's used Playwright before, um, but essentially you have a test runner here, and then you can run the tests. We can run all the tests, but I really don't want to do that. I just really care about the ones under the star search. So if I run these right now, they should all pass. Oh, except I ran all the tests. Whoops. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's run here. Just the specific ones. They should all pass. It might be running a bit slower because I restarted the dev server, but okay, they passed. That's good. I'm going to put this full screen just so it's easier to grok. Um, so StarSearch, that's hard to say for some reason. StarSearch shared prompt logout flow. So this is really, I'm going to name this shared conversation flow actually. Because it really is a shared conversation now. It's not the prompt like it was before. Okay. New star search comment. Okay, yeah, that's just my comment. If we reset the database, share ID, that's good. Okay, that's a prompt input. Okay, this is all good. All right, so what we want to test here is we want to add another test. So let's add one here. And star search shared prompt. Legacy. Um, I'm just gonna put a note. Um, this is not necessary. Uh, this is to test support for legacy shared prompts. See, what's the PR? Just like to add some comments here to just give some context to if somebody comes and looks at it. Yeah, star search shared. It's kind of like saying, I'm actually having an easier time saying see. No, I'm having a hard time saying that too. But she sells seashells by the seashore. It's this kind of same thing. Anyways, okay, what was I looking at? Yeah, on GitHub. Just want to go to my past pull requests, merged. Let's go for shared. Share prompt, share. Okay, feature. This is the one. It's always good to leave comments like this because like even if it's like one, it's helpful if somebody else comes across this like why is this test here or like that code and also it's for me. I'm gonna be like I'm gonna come back here at some point. I'm gonna be like after having worked on this like 6 months from now I'm gonna be like why is this test here. So this is to test legacy support for that, and let's get an example of this. So like this one, we're just gonna prompt projects, and let's come back here. We're just gonna put that in the URL. Query string. All right. I'm expecting this page to run. We're gonna get a new test added here, which is right. Let's uncheck that. We just want to run this one now. Okay, so if I run this one, okay, so let me zoom this in. But you see here, when I run this particular test, we get the logout screen, which is good. That's the test I want to do. So if ever that doesn't show up, this end-to-end test is broken. So let's go update that. And I have a check here down below somewhere. Login prompt. Article. Okay, that's the prompt. Where's the share? Not that. I have a lot. Oh yeah, here. All right, so we're basically expecting that, and we'll do the other thing in a sec. But if we come back here to where did that question go? Okay. Let me just go back to the test. Not this one. Not that one. Okay, here's what we want. So basically, we'll add a couple other things here, but we basically want to say we want to go find a dialogue. So uh, Playwright uses kind of like testing library from Kent C. Dodds. Um, I used Cypress testing library a lot when I was using Cypress. Uh, Playwright has the similar API, so I'm saying get by role. So if we bring this over here, and let me shrink this because we don't need to care about the side there, but basically this is a dialogue. So, and let me close here. So we're basically saying I want to find a dialogue, and the name of the dialogue is login to try StarSearch, and I want an exact match. That means match the literal exact text, and it should be visible. So now if I save this, it's going to run. It should pass. There, it passed. So now, and just to prove that this is just not me adding nothing here, if I say not to be, whoops, not to be visible, this test is going to fail now because it's going to go like, it should fail. If it goes green, I'm going to be like, ah, okay, yeah, it failed. Okay. And that's because the end-to-end test is saying this shouldn't be visible. So I know that's just to demonstrate, but this is what I want for my test. And that's good. The other thing I'm going to check is the input box down there. I'm just going to make sure it has no text. Yeah, so if we look at this, this is this is just how you write them in Playwright. You always await at the beginning, and this is what avoids potential, not necessarily flakiness, because you could still have flakiness, but this is the way it waits for whatever it's expecting to happen. So here, when you say await expect, page.getByRole dialog here, this is asynchronous, so it has to go find that element in the page first, and then once it's got it, then it's awaited it, and then it does the expectation, and then says, okay, I'm visible. Okay. The only other expectation I want to add here is I want to make sure that the input, which doesn't have focus, does not have text in it. So let's come back down here, and I'm gonna just basically grab the same thing. All right. So I'm gonna come here, and I'm gonna say await page get by role text box, and it has a placeholder of ask a question, and I don't want to click on it. I'm gonna say dot to have dot to, or is it have text dot, I guess maybe text content. I'm still not sure what the best one is to be empty. Um, what did it not like there? Await page got okay. Let's see here. Let me make this bigger. To have, yeah, there we go. Is that not it? Yeah, okay, it doesn't exist. Page get by role. Oh, it's because I didn't do an expect. That's why. So page, we're gonna say expect. We want that text box. There dot to have, I can't spell, to have text. There we go. And then there. should be empty. Now if we run this, let me save it. This should pass. There's probably a okay. Okay, this one might be failing. Okay. Receive string serializes to the same string. Okay. No, that's not right. Dot to be empty. Is that it? I'm still don't know all the API in Playwright. I did a lot of Cypress before. Um I had used Playwright at Netlify as well, but let's see here. Expected empty, received not empty. Okay, interesting. Oh, let's say I'm just gonna pick a text here to equal something, which is gonna to equal. Why am I having trouble? Maybe this is not the right one. Expected string. Ignore kit. Yeah, okay. This is gonna fail, but I just want to see what it's putting in. I'm just missing something here. Okay, yeah, receive string empty. So why doesn't it like this? Or maybe I was doing something wrong before. Receive string serializes to the same string. Expect text to. Okay, maybe I'm running the wrong. These aren't selectors. What are they called again? Yeah, assertions. Hold on. So let's do playwright check element. Check that input is empty. I don't want to check that it's not empty, but we'll go look at that. Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we're oh yeah, to be empty. Okay, expect. Yeah, no answer. Bit of a graveyard and Stack Overflow. Okay, assertions. All right, to be empty. Okay, let's go look at this. Let me zoom it in for the folks in the back. All right. Okay, live. Okay, so the locator to be empty points to an empty edible element to a DOM node that has no text. So that should be the case. So why did it not like that? Empty. All right. Showtime. Let's let this run. Come on, give me a green check. Why are you failing? Expected empty, received not empty. Why is that? Interesting. I mean, my check's just good with checking the login, but this is just bugging me. All right, to be enabled, to be here. Let's see. Player also includes web specific. Yeah, so to not, yeah, to have text, empty string doesn't work. But to be empty, to contain text, no. Should be to be empty. Oh, is it? Oh, it's value to not have value. Yeah, to input value. Maybe that's why. Could be wrong, but Not to have value. Okay, let's try that. This sh this shouldn't be good though. This should fail too. Okay, this I don't get. Let's look that up. And then I'm gonna head off in about 8 minutes because my friend and coworker Becca's on the tech commute. So if folks want to check that out, playwright. There we go. It's not. It's the same error, not in the same context, but I just want to see what they say. Okay. To have attribute. Get attribute check. No. Let's see here. Okay, not exactly an answer, but let's see here. Just gotta check down below. Okay. All right. Okay, this, let's check again at the top here. Okay, so it's saying all of the following assertions seem to fail. Okay. This sometimes works. Okay. For the records, the following workaround does what I need. And the check should now actually do what they are expected to do. Can you share the test where the page is failing? So to have attribute. When using 127, which work. This is an old version, so like, let me see if somebody else reported this. Okay, this is jest, but same idea. Hmm. I'm not sure why, but you know what? Cool. Well, I'm gonna leave it at that, but just because I'm gonna just take a quick bathroom break before I go and listen to the tech commute. But if folks are interested, if you come here, bum bum bum, where is it? Tech commute. I'll drop it. Here we go. Just gonna drop the link in the chat if folks want to check that out. No pressure to, but that's what I'm gonna listen to next. And thanks as always for hanging, and I'll see you in the next one. I'll probably be online tomorrow, continuing on some of this. Cool. Take care, everybody.